The table was set for 6. Olivia had been up since 7, folding napkins, warming rolls, setting out the good plates. Her daughter arrived first, then her son-in-law, then the grandchildren, loud and beautiful and distracted. They sat, they ate, they talked about a trip they were planning, a trip Olivia had not been invited on. Nobody really asked how she was anymore. She already knew the answer they expected. Fine. She was fine. Maybe you felt this too. She got up to pour more coffee. Nobody noticed she had been gone for 4 full minutes. Sometimes people don't leave your life, but you still start feeling invisible around them. They disappear because they keep showing up to the wrong table. Most of us grew up believing good people stay quiet and keep the peace, that love means enduring, that the good people keep the peace, hold on, and never ever push family away. But here is what nobody told you. The people draining your energy in old age are not strangers. They are people you love, people you have known for 40 years, and staying close to them out of obligation or guilt or habit is slowly draining your energy without you even noticing it, your keys, and what is left of your time. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that toxic social relationships in adults over 60 are more strongly linked to cognitive decline than social isolation itself. Not loneliness, the wrong people. By the end of this video, you will recognize the 5 types of people damaging your well-being right now. You will understand exactly why it is so hard to step back from them, and you will have 3 quiet, real shifts that protect you without burning anything down. Stay with me, because one of these 5 people may be sitting at your table right now, and honestly, that hurts more than people realize. Olivia had not always been invisible. In her 40s, she was the one everyone called. She managed the dental office in Richmond for 22 years. She knew every patient by name. She organized the church fundraiser 3 years running. Everyone depended on her. Honestly, sometimes more than they realized. And then she retired. And then her husband passed. And little by little, things changed. At first, she didn't even have a name for what she was feeling. Her daughter called less. When she did call, the calls were short. Her son lived in Charlotte now and came home for Christmas, but always seemed to be waiting to leave. Her oldest friend, a woman named Evelyn, had a habit of steering every conversation back to her own aches, her own grandchildren, her own complaints, and then hanging up, refreshed, while Olivia sat in her chair feeling somehow more tired than before she called. Olivia didn't name it. She told herself she was being sensitive, that this is just how families are, that expecting more was asking too much. She didn't tell her pastor, she didn't tell her doctor, she didn't tell her daughter. She kept smiling through dinners and family visits and refilled the coffee and felt herself become, slowly and very quietly, a woman who existed mainly to be of use to others and was otherwise simply there. That is a thing that happens. It happens quietly, and most of the time the woman it happens to is the last one to see it. It was not a breakdown. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Olivia was on the phone with Evelyn, listening to 40 minutes about Evelyn's neighbor's fence dispute, when she realized she had been tracing the same small circle on her notepad the entire time. She hung up. She looked at the notepad. The whole page was covered in tiny circles. She sat with that for a long time. She found an online community for women over 60. A simple forum, nothing fancy. One woman had written something Olivia had to read 3 times. I finally understood that being drained is not the same as being loved. Someone can love you and still take too much. And you can love someone and still need to move your chair back a little. Maybe you don't need to walk away completely. Maybe you just need a little space. Not walk out the door, not cut anyone off, not write the angry letter she had drafted in her head 100 times and never sent. Just move the chair back. Here is the reframe. The people in your life who drain you are not your enemies. They are not bad people in most cases. They are people whose patterns have outgrown the space your health can afford. That is different. That changes what you do next. You are not protecting yourself from them. You're finally protecting your own peace, too. Knowing the difference is where it starts. Number 1. The energy vampire, even if they're family. This is Evelyn. This is the person who calls, unloads, and leaves. You talk for an hour and somehow end up feeling exhausted after every call. Who never once asks how you are, and if they do, changes the subject before you finish answering. Research from the University of Michigan found that one-sided social interactions raise cortisol levels in older adults more significantly than no interaction at all. Your body knows. Your body has been trying to tell you. Move the chair back. You do not have to explain. You do not owe a reason. Number 2. The critic who calls it caring. She is often a daughter, sometimes a sister. The one who says, "I just worry about you," and then tells you the house is too cluttered, the diet is wrong, the friends you have chosen are not suitable, the decisions you are making are foolish. Even when it sounds like concern, it still hurts. And criticism in old age, delivered consistently by someone whose opinion you value, is not harmless. It rewires how you see yourself. You begin to second-guess things you have known for 60 years. That is not caring. That is something else. 3. The one who needs you smaller. This person is comfortable with you only when you are struggling. When you are doing well, when you have a new interest, a new friend, a morning that went beautifully, they go quiet or they minimize it. Well, that's nice. You have learned over years to edit yourself around them, to not mention the good things, to stay at a level they can tolerate. After a while, you stop sharing happy things around them, and slowly, you start making yourself smaller just to keep the peace. Number 4. The obligator. Every family has one. The person who reminds you of everything they have done for you, subtly, consistently. The person whose kindness arrives wrapped in a debt you didn't agree to carry. After all I've done, you know I'm always there for you. Real generosity does not keep a ledger. If the kindness comes with a bill, emotional, practical, relational, it is not kindness. It is a transaction, and you are allowed to stop paying. Number 5. The ghost who never really left. This is the hardest one to name. This is someone you love deeply, maybe still do, who is no longer available to you in any real way. Not because they died, because they changed, or you changed, or the version of them you needed has been gone for years. But you keep calling. You keep sitting at a table built for a relationship that no longer exists, setting out the good plates for someone who stopped showing up a long time ago. Grief for a living person is one of the most unacknowledged losses in old age. It is okay to grieve this. It is okay to set that table for someone else. Can I talk to you directly for a moment? You have spent most of your life being the person other people counted on. You showed up. You gave, you stayed, you forgave things that cost you something real to forgive. And somewhere along the way, perhaps without anyone saying it plainly, you were taught that your own comfort, your own peace, your own flourishing, that these things were a little bit selfish, that good people do not need much, that asking for more is asking too much. That was a lie, and you have been living inside it for a long time. You know how a tree grows near a concrete wall? It doesn't fight the wall, it doesn't argue with it, it just slowly, over years, finds the light in a different direction. Not dramatic, not angry, just alive and growing toward what it needs. You're allowed to choose peace now. Even now, at 72, at 68, at 80, you are still growing. The people who make you feel small are not the measure of your worth. Some people just can't meet you where you are anymore. You can stop growing toward them. Some kinds of being seen take longer than others, but they come. Shift 1, name what you feel after. After every interaction this week, ask yourself one question. Do I feel lighter or heavier? You do not need to do anything yet. Just name it. That is enough. That is where it starts. Shift 2, shorten, don't sever. You do not have to end anything. You just have to make the visits shorter, the calls a little less frequent, the door a little less wide. 5 minutes less, one call skipped, one invitation declined. Sometimes even small changes can make you feel emotionally lighter. That is enough. That is where it starts. 3 weeks later, Olivia set the table for two. Her granddaughter, 16, shy, and recently interested in old music, came over on a Saturday. Just the two of them. Olivia made her mother's biscuit recipe. They listened to Patsy Cline on the little kitchen radio. Her granddaughter said, out of nowhere, "I didn't know you knew all these songs." Olivia said, "I know a lot of things nobody ever asked about." They sat at that table for 2 hours. Nobody checked their phone, nobody refilled the coffee to have something to do. Olivia did not have a word for what it was, but she had not drawn 47 circles on any notepad in weeks. She had not needed to. Some tables only need 2 chairs, and sometimes the right 2 chairs change everything. Leave one word in the comments, just one word that describes how you feel after watching this. If someone came to mind while you were watching, send this to her tonight. She may need to hear that her peace is worth protecting. Take care of yourself this week, not because you have to, because you finally can.